When the winds shift in your favor, they rarely make noise. The signs of transformation do not come with trumpets or banners, but in whispers, in the smallest of changes that pass unnoticed by most. Wealth, the kind that changes not only your circumstances but your very being, is not simply a gift placed in your hands, it is a mirror showing who you have become to receive it. There is a moment before a great tide rises when the shore seems still. That stillness is not emptiness, it is preparation. The opportunities are already gathering beyond the horizon. Your only task is to remain aware enough to recognize them when they arrive. Richness is not measured first in coins, but in clarity. When your vision becomes sharp, you begin to see doors that were always there, yet invisible before. You start to act in ways that align with a future only you can sense. The external wealth is simply the reflection of that inner alignment. The path to abundance is never loud. It moves quietly, testing whether you are ready to handle it. Those who rush blindly are like a hand that tries to hold water too tightly. They lose what they could have held. Patience, discipline, and an unwavering focus become your tools. And when the moment finally comes, it will not feel like a surprise. It will feel inevitable, as though the seeds you planted long ago have simply reached their season. In that instant, you will understand wealth was always coming, but it was waiting for you to grow into the person who could carry it. The signs that you are approaching great wealth rarely shout, they whisper. It is easy to overlook them when your eyes are fixed only on the outcome, but the path reveals itself in the smallest of shifts. You may notice your thoughts becoming clearer, less clouded by fear or impatience. The way you approach opportunities changes not with desperation, but with calm readiness. Even the way you respond to challenges transforms, as if each obstacle is no longer a wall, but a tool shaping you into the person who can hold what is coming. Often, it is the intangible changes that are the strongest indicators. You may find yourself feeling more grateful for small blessings, more disciplined with your time, and more deliberate in your choices. This is because life is already preparing you for a higher level of responsibility. Wealth is not simply a reward, it is a weight, and the person who cannot carry it will be crushed by it. These subtle signs are life's way of strengthening your grip. You may also start noticing synchronicities, chance meetings, unexpected information, or opportunities that seem to align perfectly with your path. This is not coincidence. It is the result of your energy, actions, and focus attracting the right circumstances. The universe is simply arranging itself to meet you halfway. Even your relationship with money begins to shift before it physically multiplies. You treat it with more respect, not from fear of losing it, but from the understanding that every resource you have is a seed. And seeds, when cared for with patience and consistency, inevitably bear fruit. When these quiet changes begin to happen, most people dismiss them because they do not yet see the physical evidence. But those who pay attention know that by the time wealth is visible, its roots have already been growing deep beneath the surface. Recognizing these whispers and responding to them with care and discipline is the surest sign that abundance is no longer a distant dream, it is already on its way. One of the clearest signs that you are about to step into abundance is the change in your internal dialogue. The voice that once repeated doubts and limitations begins to grow quieter, replaced by a steady, grounded sense of possibility. You no longer ask, "Can I?" but instead, "How will I?" This subtle shift in language changes everything, because the mind follows the questions it is given. You begin to act from a place of certainty rather than fear. Instead of chasing quick rewards, you focus on building things that will last. You measure success not only in money, but in skill, discipline, and impact. In this state, you no longer see competition as a threat, but as a mirror showing you what is possible. The energy you once wasted comparing yourself to others is now invested in improving yourself. Your decisions start aligning with the person you want to become, not the person you have been. You choose patience over instant gratification, and you make sacrifices not because you are forced to, but because you understand they are part of the foundation. This is when discipline becomes freedom, because you are no longer controlled by impulses, you are guided by purpose. You also notice that the people around you begin to shift. Some will drift away not because of conflict, but because your path no longer matches theirs. Others will enter your life who share your vision, bringing knowledge, opportunities, and encouragement. This is not by accident. Abundance rarely arrives in isolation. It comes through networks, relationships, and shared efforts. In these moments, wealth begins to take shape long before it enters your bank account. It shows itself in your habits, your associations, and your daily choices. Each time you act with intention instead of reaction, you are casting a vote for the future you want. And each time you choose growth over comfort, you take another step toward the life you have been preparing for. Another sign that great wealth is approaching is when challenges begin to intensify, almost as if life is testing your readiness to receive more. You may notice obstacles appearing one after another: unexpected expenses, failed attempts, or delays that seem unfair. But these moments are not punishment, they are preparation. Just as a muscle must be broken down to grow stronger, your character is being refined to handle the responsibility that comes with abundance. In these times, patience becomes your greatest asset. Many people quit when the storm comes, thinking it means they are on the wrong path. But the truth is often the opposite. Pressure appears right before the breakthrough. The heat you feel is the same that forges steel into a blade. If you can stay focused and calm while others panic, you are proving to yourself and to life that you are ready for more. You begin to notice your perspective shifting. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you start asking, "What is this trying to teach me?" This question turns frustration into wisdom. Every setback becomes a lesson in resilience, every delay a lesson in timing. You realize that wealth is not only about money, but also about the mindset and emotional strength to sustain it. Opportunities often hide within these difficulties. A failed venture might lead you to a more profitable idea. A financial loss might teach you a principle that saves you millions in the future. The person who can look at adversity and still see possibility is the one who will turn struggle into success. When you face these challenges without running away, you show that your foundation is strong enough to hold the weight of what you're asking for. Life does not hand great rewards to those who are unprepared, because unearned abundance can destroy as easily as it can build. By standing firm in the face of trials, you are proving that you are not just wishing for wealth, you are becoming the kind of person who can protect, grow, and multiply it. Another clear sign that wealth is drawing near is the sudden clarity in your vision. You start to see your goals not as distant dreams, but as inevitable destinations. The noise of doubt, distraction, and comparison begins to fade, and your focus sharpens like a blade. You no longer chase every opportunity that crosses your path. Instead, you recognize the few that truly align with your purpose. This clarity doesn't come by accident. It is the result of lessons learned from past mistakes, of nights spent questioning your path, and of the inner work you have done to understand what truly matters to you. When you know exactly where you're going, you stop wasting energy on detours. Every decision, every conversation, and every action begins to serve the same destination. With this focus comes a new kind of discipline. You no longer feel the need to prove yourself to anyone else. Your commitment is to your own vision. You stop explaining your plans to people who cannot see them, because you understand that clarity is a personal experience. Not everyone will understand your path, and that's fine. The more clearly you see your future, the less validation you require. In this state, opportunities seem to appear effortlessly, but you know it's not luck, it's alignment. When your intentions, actions, and mindset all point in the same direction, you attract the exact resources, connections, and circumstances you need. Life responds to your clarity with matching precision. This is the stage where many underestimate you, because from the outside it looks quiet, no dramatic announcements, no visible struggle. But inside, the fire is burning hotter than ever. You are moving with purpose, making calculated steps, and building momentum that cannot be stopped. Wealth often arrives in the lives of those who are ready before it becomes visible to others. The moment you stop being pulled by uncertainty and start moving with unshakable clarity, you are already walking in the direction of abundance. By the time the world notices, you will be standing exactly where you always envisioned yourself to be. One of the most powerful signs that you are about to step into abundance is the change in how you handle both giving and receiving. You begin to understand that wealth is not just a matter of accumulation. It is a flow, a current that moves through your life. You are no longer holding on to everything with fear of losing it, because you realize that true riches multiply when they are shared with intention. When this shift happens, generosity becomes effortless. You give not from a place of obligation, but from a place of trust that what you give will return to you in ways far greater than the form in which it left. Whether it's time, resources, wisdom, or kindness, you start to offer more of yourself without keeping a mental tally. This giving is not reckless, it is purposeful, and it strengthens the energy around you. At the same time, you open yourself to receiving. Many people unconsciously block abundance because they feel undeserving or fear the responsibility that comes with it. But in this stage, you begin to welcome blessings without guilt. You accept opportunities, praise, and financial gain as a natural part of your journey, understanding that these are tools to help you create even more impact. This balance between giving and receiving creates a magnetic force around you. People want to collaborate with you, doors open unexpectedly, and situations that once felt impossible begin to unfold smoothly. You become a trusted presence in both personal and professional circles, because others can sense that your wealth, whether in money, ideas, or spirit, is not stagnant. It is alive and in motion. When you live in this state, scarcity loses its grip on you. You no longer fear what will happen if you give too much or accept too much, because you have experienced the truth. Abundance grows in the exchange. It is not meant to be hoarded, it is meant to circulate. And as you honor this flow, life mirrors it back to you with greater and greater generosity, until wealth is no longer something you chase, but simply the environment in which you live. The journey toward wealth is not merely about reaching a destination, but about becoming the kind of person who can hold and grow it. It is a transformation of mindset, habits, and energy, where you learn to trust the process, recognize the signs, and align your actions with the vision you carry. When patience replaces desperation, when challenges are met with skill instead of fear, when you embrace awareness, generosity, and the steady flow of giving and receiving, abundance becomes inevitable. In this state, wealth is no longer an uncertain dream. It is the natural outcome of the person you have become.